Okay, I welcome everybody. Welcome Dr. Dansu, Ikechi, Adekunle, and Dadalua to be all welcome. And okay, as we are
Thank
still expecting, yeah, thank you. As we are still expecting others, we can just let's describe our week in one word in the chat box. Our week with one word in the chat box. Let's use the chat box. Chat box. I'm also typing my own chat box. I can't see our comments. Chat box. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Full of
yes.
feeling.
But if you are just joining, if you are just joining us,
you.
full of billing, interest.
Honestly,
That's nice. That's nice. If you are just joining, we are actually describing our week with a word, so you can use the chat section. You can use the chat section. You can use the chat section. So you're welcome, Rebecca. You're welcome, Emmanuel. You're welcome. You're welcome. And like I just maybe one person or two. We still have some time. One person or two. Like, what have you gained so far? Maybe one thing that the real boss forum has actually changed in you. Okay, maybe I can go first. Let me go first. Uh, for me, actually, I've been learning a lot, but some specific things I've actually been picking. Like I think this week there's a particular thing about uh, proposing the norms, kneeling down to propose and like that and all. So I actually gained something there that okay, this thing is not actually compulsory because to me, before the article, I believe it is a must. Like it is like you have to do it. But after I read through the article, a lot of comments, I had the understanding now that okay, this thing is not really compulsory. You can, but it shouldn't be a must. Shouldn't be a must. And I've also learned different type of parenting, different type of how you can avoid billing because someone said full of billing that his week is full of billing. So how you can avoid how you can avoid billing and all. So maybe just one person can also say something about what you gain and maybe a particular thing that has changed. So anybody who is going.
We acknowledge our speaker, Rebecca Padonu. Thanks for being here. She had an exhausting week. Thank God it was productive. So that's a nice balance. Good to have you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And the two speakers are even here. Sorry already.
Ah,
Some
sorry.
speakers are so close that you don't notice when they come in. So welcome, Margaret.
So you're welcome. If you are just joining us, you can just describe your week with a word in the chat section. So just describe your week chat section, just a word. So who is going? Should I can call you. I'll just call your name and you tell us what you actually gained. We have just maybe 2 minutes to do this. Let's talk now. I wish I'll call you. Okay, I'll call Emmanuel. But we have to Emmanuel, not Doctor though. I also. Emmanuel, are you there? Emmanuel. Okay, I think Emmanuel is not there. Let me call Adeoshin. Adeoshin, can you say something?
why are you doing like the weapon fashion against me? How about now? Don't worry, I'll just do it. Yeah, good evening, everyone. So yeah, an important lesson that I really like I've inculcated into my life so far from the Real Boys forum is the principle of approaching things strategically. And there was a analogy that was given by Mr. Dansu. I cannot Prof. Dansu. I'm so sorry for calling him Mr. Dansu. About a child
Could be real, but you don't
who
send all these things for yeah, but calm down.
Haba, haba. And the analogy of a child eating that he learned from, and then spoon by spoon, he was able to devour a mountain of food that was before him. And initially, I usually take things, I'm a perfectionist. I want to take everything all at once and see how I can finish it all at once. But I've really learned that taking things bit by bit, a little here, a little there, you just find out that you are solving the huge problem before you, and then you've already gotten to the end of that goal, and then you've achieved your goal. So, I learned that, and I have been applying it, and it has been working for me. Thank you to the Real Boys for me. I love you all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, thank you. We've actually learned a lot of things. If you are on this call and you are not in the Real Boys forum, then you are missing a lot. You are missing a lot. But at the end of this program, before
You want the
then,
ladies to join
we
us?
are going to drop. You said what, sir?
You want the ladies to join us?
No, not the ladies. Except the ladies. Except the ladies. So yeah, like the group link will be dropped on the chat box, so you can actually check the chat space. Thank you. And also so I'll call on Doctor to actually give us a brief talk about RBF, what it's all about and all. Over to you, sir.
Hey,
Sir.
I'm trying to admit people. Let me see if I have people waiting. Okay, no one is waiting right now. Oh, yeah, what I just have to say is that um, we know the goal of the Real Boys Forum, basically, and I'm so excited that I can't imagine that somebody will be referring to the very first article with which you opened the program. I remember what Kunle referred to was the first article I wrote on January 1st, 2024, right? That was the very first writing I did to kickstart RBF. And it's all about, if you want to conquer a mountain, just take one step at a time. Because you can easily get overwhelmed by, if you just want to jump on top of the mountain at once. If I recounted our experience in that when we went to Mount Fuji, and we made several attempts. It looked very close from the train station, and then we walked for 1 hour, and we are still, the closer we get, the farther it looks. And then finally, at the end of the day, we couldn't even reach it like that. So that was so instructive. So it's good to know that people are more aware of, how to approach ladies, how to conduct yourself around ladies and everything. I think that's very important. Of course, we write around 10 themes, and the whole thing is, at the end of the day, you should be a total man. On the home front, yeah, you should be cool. Financially, you should be fine. Leadership, everything, spirituality, everything should be in one place. And I'm particularly excited. The first time the idea of this particular meetup came up, it was like, wow, okay, like let's call the ladies now. Let them tell us. Let's call correct women. And by the time you read these people's profiles, you know that yes, you couldn't be be you couldn't have better ladies. Is that how to put it? Something like that. Like these are the best of the best you can listen to. When it comes to what ladies want. Of course, if you want to follow Spaghetti Girl Sha, maybe this event is not meant for you. But I know for you to be here, it means you are a correct man looking for a correct women like the ones that are speaking to us today. So you want to fasten your seatbelts and enjoy a nice ride. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I I love Doctor saying the word correctly this. Okay. So be moving to
A hand is up. Can we hear him out? One of our brothers, Akomadupsi. In fact, this event is meant for him because he just lady girl just gree for him.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you. As a matter of fact, even though I have some activity, I had to plan today to make sure that I must attend this particular meeting. Thank you so much again for organizing this. And quickly, I just want to provide a feedback on the group too. The first article too also spurred me to take some necessary actions, especially breaking complex models into simpler steps. I took an online course on WQU, and I was related to both machine learning and data science, and trying to hone my skills in that area. So I decided to just follow that particular concept, broke it into simpler steps, created a calendar for the month for it, and currently, okay, I think 2 weeks ago, I used one of the skills that I learned from that online course to publish, to submit a paper. I'm so happy, and that particular article was dropped. It really, really helped me in taking giant things, in taking a giant project, taking it step by step. I'm so happy. I'm very sure that this seminar too is also going to I have many things on my mind actually, but this seminar is actually going to answer so many of the questions in my mind too. Thank you so much, Prof, for bringing this forum. Thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir, for bringing this forum. A lot of us are actually learning day by day. You know, when you learn every day, money does. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a bit nervous, sorry. Okay,
Calm down. Drink water. Drink cold water in winter.
okay. I'll introduce the first speaker. We'll be having two speakers. So I'll be introducing the first person. That's Rebecca Padonu. Is a dedicated advocate for vulnerable household, children, and young person development with a first-class honors degree in theater and performing arts from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria. She serves as a graduate assistant at her alma mater. Rebecca is a Tashim Ibrahim Fellow, part of the 2018 cohort, a program initiated by the Kaduna State government to foster leadership potentials in Nigerian youth. Throughout her journey, marked by resilience and commitment, she has achieved notable milestones, including emerging in the top 1% in the British Broadcasting Corporation Storytelling Competition in 2015 and receiving the Best Graduating Student Award in the Faculty of Art in 2016. Rebecca actively engaged in community service, exemplified by our recent outreach, providing bucket making training to 30 rural women and donating fuel efficient cook stoves in May 2023. Currently pursuing a master's in arts degree. She visits orphanages to use drama as a means of connecting with orphans and vulnerable children. Her diverse experiences include serving as a special assistant to the governor at the Kaduna Social Investment Office from 2019 to 2023. Since August 2023, she has held the position of Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Kaduna State on gender and social inclusion. In this role, Rebecca passionately advocates for gender equity, social inclusion, and equal opportunities in northern Nigeria. Our ultimate goal is to promote personal leadership and social development in children, young people and vulnerable households, not only within our community and Nigeria, but also on a global scale. So, like, let's drop some emoji in the chat box to welcome our speaker, our first speaker. So, Rebecca Padonu, you're welcome, ma.
Thank you so much. So everyone here, I'm really, 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 really happy to be here. I'm excited to be among you. And I think from the very beginning when I joined, it's been so exciting. Like I could feel the love, the connectedness. And I'm like, hey, so when someone said, oh, who's going to join? I put in the chat, but oh, join, no. Or maybe my co-speaker and I can start our own correct women, or was Dr. Dansu calling us correct women, yeah? So I guess we'll start as, because I'm at this point jealous of you guys. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Once again, I am mindful of my time, so I would just like to delve right into it. So while I was thinking about what women want, a song came to my mind and I would love to sing it, please, just permit me. We are like flowers, beautiful flowers. We are like flowers in the garden of life. Are you a rose? Are you a lily? Are you a morning glory? You can be what you and I will be me, but we'll still be friends in the garden of life. We'll still be friends in the garden of life. Okay, so basically, you can be rose, I can be lily, but we are all together different flowers, in the garden of life. Without the rose and the lily and the varieties of other flowers, we cannot make a garden. And so is the case of men and women. We are different. We are different psychologically, emotionally, and otherwise, but we can coexist. We should coexist and ultimately make the world a better place. I think that is the whole point. We should, eventually make the world a better place. Using Nigeria as a case study, the estimated percentage of women is about 49% of the total population. These women are our grandmothers, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, girlfriends, fiancé, wives, So I will be considering for today the topic, exploring women's desires across diverse relationship dynamics. So yes, I understand when we say, oh, what do women want? We mostly look at it from the angle of, okay, my girlfriend or mostly my wife. So marriage, yeah. However, I want us to, to go through these relationship dynamics because we have women in our family. We have them at the workplace. We even have them as friends, platonic relationship. Then we have them, as fiancés, girlfriends, romantic relationship. Then marriage, when we eventually marry them. So I would love to move across, these diverse relationship dynamics. And I hope to, take you with me. So the first on my list is family. In the family, we have women, mothers, sisters, daughters. And what do we want? I mean, I'm someone's daughter and I'm someone's sister. So what do I want from my father? What do I want from my brother? I want them to understand me. I want them to understand who a woman is, how the psychology of a woman works. I want them to understand that at some time within the month, I might be having mood swings. It's not because I do not like them. I do not intend to sound rude. It's because I have this mood swing that I just not, I can't get out of it. And there is a reason to that. There is a biological explanation to that. You have the premenstrual symptom, and that is part of it. We have mood swing because of this thing. If you do not understand it that way, you'll be thinking, what kind of sister do I have like this? Sometimes she can just be annoying. This sister does not like me. But you need to understand. Then we need support. You see, I put it to you, a woman's self-confidence easily dwindles because we are very emotional beings. We process things faster. We process things deeper. When we hear something, we'll take it far, far, far. We'll connect it to all the things we can connect with. So a woman is very emotional. So all of these things that we process and over-process gets to us. So our self-confidence easily dwindles. So we need the men in our lives, the brothers, the fathers in our lives to give us that emotional support. And sometimes what we even need is practical solutions. Oh, maybe I'm having, we have a lot of issues. This could be a boyfriend issue. This could be a schoolwork issue. There are times, you need to understand it. There are times where all I need is an emotional support. Okay, Becca, so sorry. Just give me a listening ear. Sorry. Then when you listen very well and then you ask, always ask. So do you want me to help you with this? Then you know that at that point, the person can tell you, we can tell you that we actually need practical solutions. So you can tell us, okay, go this way, why not go this way? Okay, I'm a man, you have a problem with a fiancé. Oh, you have a problem with, there's an issue with your husband. Okay, can you do this? Can you go this way? So then we take practical solutions. And finally, we want open communication and mutual respect, even as family members. We want to have that conversation. Don't go tell mommy about me. Don't go tell daddy about me when you can actually have the conversation with me. So the next relationship here is at the workplace. At the workplace, we have women at the workplace, our colleagues, subordinates, superior. How can you support them? For women, generally, we know that our representation, at the workforce is getting better, but we are not there yet. So many people are looking at it that, I'm already at a disadvantaged position. So we then feel more disadvantaged. We feel more marginalized when you now do certain things, at the office. And I will quickly run into that. Recognition of our skills and contributions. So we want you to, see us. We want you to recognize our skills and contributions. Oh, not just because she's a woman, but because she's a human who has contributed skills, and whatever knowledge she's having, as based on our competency. You don't make us feel like we are not enough. Because some persons, I don't know, there are some persons who just hold something against women. So no matter what a woman does, I beg no woman. So don't make us feel like we're not enough. We want to feel recognized. If we contribute something, let's hear you say it, recognize it. Then we want a supportive environment that fosters growth and career advancement. Help us to have that work-life balance, because mostly for women at the workforce, we are the ones who talk about work-life balance. Whether you want to take that or not, we are the ones who actually grapple. We have, we have a lot of issues around work-life balance. How much of my time can I dedicate to work? How much of my time can I dedicate to my personal ambition or my duties at home? I have to take, if I'm married, I have to take care of my children. I have to clean them up. I have to do this. I have to cook. Then I have to deliver on memos, on reports, go to sites, visitations. So how do you see this? How do you handle the situation at the workplace? Do you recognize that a woman at your workplace actually does these other things, and there's a lot of things going on around work-life balance? Or they just look at her and say, you see, I told you, she's a woman. She's a woman. So look, that's why she's behaving like that. So we want supportive environments that will foster growth and career advancement, so that we too, can aspire to get to, management levels. Not, only men who can get there. We want to get there, but sometimes you just need a little push, just a little nudge. So you can encourage, your female friends. You can encourage, especially your colleagues at the work space. So now I'm moving to friendship. I'm running quickly because I want to dwell more when I get to marriage. So now on friendship, we have platonic relationship. Women value trust. We want, to have this trust, loyalty. Sometimes people feel like, it's only when I'm dating this person, it's only when I'm married to you that I should be loyal. I'm not dating you, so why should I be loyal to you? No, it doesn't work like that. I think on a normal ground, maybe not even talking about what women want here, but the normal ground, we should look at trust and loyalty as the bedrock of any friendship at all. So for women, we value this. Don't talk behind my back. If I am a woman, a man, I've told you something, maybe, we love to feel supported emotionally and all that. So I've maybe done some rant with you. I said something with you. I do not want you to talk about those things behind my back. And don't do things that will hurt me or bring me close to danger in any way. I want you to be loyal. Then I want to receive emotional support from you. Don't invalidate my expression. I keep going back to the fact that we are emotional beings. So I've told you something, I've expressed something to you. Because it does not make sense to you, doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if you're getting it. So you just look at me and be like, why is this one? Why is she ranting? Why is she squeezing her face? This doesn't mean anything. Just move along. That's what is in your head. Just move along. Please don't say it out. Please don't say it out. Don't invalidate that emotion. Don't invalidate the expression, because you know what will happen when you do that? You will make it worse. You will make her worse. You will leave her worse than you met her, because you've not validated her experiences. You've not validated her expression and her emotions, because they are real. They are real emotions, and she is portraying them because that's who she is. That's who we are. So don't say, you like to drag this thing. You like to just drag this thing. There's nothing in this thing. Now why are you dragging it? Leave this thing. Even if you want her to leave it and she's dragging it, that is not how you go about it. So first, you validate it. You feel this way. Oh, so sorry about that. I'm sorry you feel that way. Then you walk her through processes, for her to leave them behind. Okay, you know what? Don't take these things to heart. Just don't worry. Don't take these things to her. Sometimes you tell her the implications rather. If you this is what it will lead to. If you do that, that's what it will lead to. So you know what? I know it hurts. I understand that it hurts. I know how you feel, but we just have to go this way. So first, it's very important that you validate her feelings, validate my feeling. I have to talk as a woman here. Validate my feelings, then we move on to practical solutions. Then also as a friend, I want to, be able to connect with you on shared interest, and I want to be sure that yours is a safe space. So sometimes, good friendships actually lead to romantic relationships. I know you agree with me, so I'll just quickly move along. Okay, now you've been with this friend, or you're moving into the next level. How do you approach the woman you love? There are things to look out for. I mean, I'm just trying to lay the bedrock now before I go into the details. There are things to look out for. What values do you want to see in your woman? It's usually many of your own values anyways. Let's say I have a value of integrity as a man. I want to see it in my woman. So what values do what are your values? So you need to be clear about your own personal principles and values. So you know exactly what you're looking for. So it's not just about, she's fine. Oh, she sounds smart. What are the values? And sometimes these are not necessarily values that you have yourself, but values you admire, even when you don't have them. So this will help you, to be with the right person, so you don't end up with the wrong person. Then how do you approach? You approach her with honesty. Please, we want you to approach us with respect and sincerity. Don't use her to kill boredom. Because you've been bored for a while now, what can I do? Just start getting close to one sister. You start getting close to that lady. And then you start giving her green lights. There's some sort of green lights there. But that is not what you want. You know that is not what you want. But you just keep giving her the green light. No, that isn't right. So ensure that you approach her with honesty, with respect and sincerity, being sincere, be sincere. Then we women also want that you express your feelings clearly. Emphasis on clearly. Don't hide under a love language without doing the actual expression. Don't say, my love language is to gift. I love to gift. That's my love language. Gifting. So you keep buying her this, you keep buying her pizza. Every day you're buying pizza. Buying it every day doesn't mean that she will understand that you want her. It would be a hint. It's a green light, right? It's a hint. But that should not take the place of the actual expression. Please, we want to hear you say it. And while you're at that, you need to understand our boundaries. Do not jump protocols. For instance, you don't run hugging a woman you want to be with because you feel like it. No, don't do that. Then while you're there, listen actively and attentively to her feelings and how she communicates them, so that you will be able to connect with her deeply. And of course, at the end of the day, you express yourself and she could, think about this and tell you exactly how she feels about you. Now that you have a woman, so please come with me. Let's go to romantic relationships. So a romantic relationship, this is where you're courted. This is courtship. Women desire quite a number of things. We want everything you have with a female friend and more. Now, may I remind you what you have with a female friend? We talked about trust. We talked about loyalty. We spoke about emotional support. Then, connections, in shared interest and a safe space. really. So we want to have all of these when we are courting, right? We want to feel all of this and more. Don't make us feel less of a friend. I know men who would say, oh, I'm just courting her. I've not married her yet. So she could just wake up tomorrow and leave me alone. So why should I be so committed? So you don't care about her feelings, you don't care about how she feels, you do not care at all. So you do not even care as much as you would care for a friend. No, we do not want that. We want the way you treat a female friend and more. So the more now will be love and intimacy, because that is the only difference now, because you've chosen me. You've prioritized me as your woman. You're courting me, so we'll get married. So don't make me feel like I am just an option from a pool of many other women. That realization, that feeling alone can just drive a woman crazy. Sorry to use the language, but it is what it is. It will make a woman start making assumptions. Oh, this other person. Oh, so who is that person? That's when we start making the connections. If you make her stand out, if you make your woman stand out and you make her feel honored, you make her feel respected, you make her feel seen, she will understand that even if there are these other people around, even though you're going to work every day and you see your colleagues who probably might even be better than her, she trusts you. She knows that she is the chosen one. But if you just treat her like, okay, you know what, I'm just courting you, we're not married yet, and you make her feel like she's an option among many other person. I could have gone to that person, I could have gone with this person. If you make her feel that way, then that would not work, because it will just keep bringing thoughts to our head. So realistically, that's the case, that's the case, but don't make us feel that way. We understand that there are many women. So realistically, there are many women, right? There are many women out there. So you can easily just say, I don't want you anymore, I want to take that person. But don't make us feel that way. And that's on period, honestly. Let me use the words of Gen Z. It's on period. So finally, between a romantic relationship and marriage, I think there is this part of, when do you propose to a woman? And how do you want to be proposed to? How a woman feels when you propose. I feel like you propose when you feel confident in your relationship and you're ready to take it to the next level towards building a future together. Personally, I don't believe in a proposal ceremony where a man goes on his knee and then bring out the ring. This is a personal opinion. Because I feel like we should all date, we are courting towards marriage. And I honestly I don't fancy that ceremony. The intention of you courting itself is marriage. So while you've started dating, while you started courting, you should be having that conversation, on the go. However, it is not a sin. I mean, it is not bad if you go on your knee and then you do whatever you want to do. It's preference. I feel it's preference. I want to try to understand people who do that. So I feel it's preference. But do not turn your woman into the Lord of Rings. No woman wants that. We don't want it. Don't turn us into the Lord of Rings. You just propose to a woman and in the next 5 years, you've done nothing about it. There is nothing to show for it. She's just wearing a ring, showing that, she's chosen. She's chosen, but she has not been taken to the altar. No woman wants that. We do not want that. We do not want that. If you're committed, we want the commitment to, move as fast as it can. So whether as a ceremony or as a conversation, proposal should not come when things are uncertain. Maybe you have issues and then, you're not even sure where, you don't even know the direction of your ship. You just know you're in a relationship, but you don't know the direction. You don't know where you're going to, and then you come to propose. Like, what are you proposing for, really? You've not even had conversations that you should have. Because we women, we are interested in having those conversations, financial conversations, family conversations, all of those conversations. We want to have it. We've not even had it. We've not agreed. Then you're proposing for what? Also, you shouldn't come when we have a disagreement, because it's be looking like some sort of gift or some sort of makeup mechanism. And we don't want it to be because you want to show off. You want to show off to the world. You should make us feel committed in the actual sense that, okay, you want us and we are in this together and we can forge ahead. So finally, I would come to the, they say the biggest of them all, marriage. You see, marriage is quite an important one, because it's ordained by God as a covenant of love, of companionship, emotional support. And I mean, I speak as a married woman for men and women who love God and work according to his will. we see marriage same way. We see marriage, as ordained by God. It's a covenant of love. It's built for companionship and mutual support. You know how God saw Adam and realized that, oh, you're lonely, Adam. Hey, you're lonely, Adam. Let me get you a helpmate. Let me get you a companion. Yes, that kind of thing. So I also understand that for some people, for some persons, they take a marriage as a mere contract, because I want to understand that not all marriages are kingdom marriages, right? So there are some persons who take this as mere contract for support. Oh, they're just looking for emotional support. I'll go and marry now. Oh, I cannot wash. Go and marry now. Oh, I can no longer cook my own food. Go and marry now. I can no longer take care of my bills. You're a woman. You cannot take care of your bills. Go and marry now. Just go find Bobo. Maybe may they not see you people in the real boys forum here. May they not see you people. May the eyes of those kind of persons, may they not find you. And that's a good prayer though. May they not find you when they're looking for just people to put their financial burden on, and that's the only reason they're going into marriage, right? But then coming back here, there are some persons who naturally, of course, are just looking for this kind of contract. Oh, I'm just going into this because of this, or because of childbearing. Oh, I'm moving out of the age bracket where I can give birth. So I need to do this. I need to give birth. So that is why. So it's some sort of contract for them. And of course, it's a no-brainer that the devil targets marriages, because it's God's design for lifelong commitment, and it is capable of destroying the devil's affairs, especially kingdom marriages. So the devil is really against marriage. Anyways, coming to my final points before I leave the stage tonight, I want to tell you that as a woman, a wife now, I'm talking as a married woman now, we want companionship. We want companionship. We want to share our joys and sorrows with you. We want to share our dreams and aspirations with you. I want to be able to call my husband when I'm going through things that I cannot tell any other person. I want to leave the workspace, to leave my office and go home, and I am coming to my happy place. And that happy place is not just my building, it's not just my house, but my husband, in whom I have found friendship. So companionship. Because imagine two persons being together for it's a lifelong journey, and then there is no element of companionship. That will be a prison. Imagine you can't share your joys and sorrow with somebody you're married to. That would be a prison. Imagine you cannot share your dreams and aspirations. That would be a prison. And that is why a lot of women like hers actually break down when men who are not in kingdom marriages, or men who were once in kingdom marriages but got distracted by Jezebels, when they start having side chicks, and let me tell you, sometimes men say, oh, I'm a real man and I do not have side chick. I am not dating that woman. Oh, I am not sleeping with another woman. But can you think deeply about someone you are giving your attention to? And you think deeply about someone you are now emotionally connected to. You just want to be with her. You want to talk with her every time. That would break my heart if I find out something like that. So a woman wants to have you and be sure that, yes, I have you. And we want to also see that we have your undivided attention. So companionship is key. If we are married, let's be companions in the real sense of the word. Let's be companions. Don't marry me and then you're being companion with somebody else. So there is, this thing they say about work husband and work wives. So we don't want that. We need companionship. Don't go start something you cannot finish. So when you notice somebody is coming so close to you too much and it's becoming uncomfortable, it's not okay, please run. Flee. Do not stay there and be looking how to, conquer the temptation. Just run. Now, we also love to have good communication. Let's have conversations. Let's talk about these things. Let's talk about them. If there are issues going around, we women, we want to talk. We do not believe in silent treatment at all. I feel personally it's not necessary. Something is going on, and then instead of you to tell me, oh, my wife, look at this thing you did. I do not like it. And then we have a conversation about it. Or maybe I didn't even realize I did it. But then you just, turn off. And then silent treatment, you're not talking to me. No woman wants silent treatment. It kills. It kills you emotionally. And what you should understand is that emotions are, it's a driving force. Emotion is a driving force that if you're not emotionally okay, you will not be able to function anyway. Even at work, you will not perform optimally the way you should be. So let's have good conversations. Let's hold conversations. And this leads me to the next point about having difficult conversations. So from having just conversations, let's have difficult conversations. Oh man, do not want to talk about budgeting and spending habits. Isn't that my money? Am I not the provider for this family? I don't want to talk about it. No, please. Let's talk about budgeting and spending. We want to talk about it because we need to budget. We need to track our spending. We need to spend responsibly, especially if you're in Nigeria now in this renewable economy. You want to budget. You want to track. I want to have these conversations. The difficult conversations could also be about debt. Who are you owing? What's going on? Some men who owe so much money, trying to put so much, trying to do so much. And it's not like the debt is not for the family. I mean, they took this debt, it's for the family or maybe extended family members, but they are not ready to have this conversation. When even as a wife discovers something like that, you just want to shut them off to say, okay, you're not having this conversation. Oh, or maybe it's not necessary. Things like that. It makes us feel like we are not welcome, like you don't trust us. Oh, you don't think we can handle the situation. No woman wants to be treated like that. Then we can also have difficult conversations around household chores, work-life balance, anything at all. Just ensure you have these difficult conversations. What it does is that it further builds your friendship. It strengthens your friendship. Whatever you share, it will further strengthen it because you are having this difficult conversation. You further understand yourself. Then we want our husbands to be honest. We want our men to be honest. Please, I want to be able to boast about you. So when someone comes and says something to me in my head, I'll be like, she told me. Or I can even say to your face, oh, I know about this. So then we'll fix it together. Let's, forge one force. And then we face whatever obstacle is there. But first, you need to be honest. Don't lie to us. Don't tell us half-truths. Because it breaks trust over time. It breaks our heart. It breaks our trust over time. The next point is we want our men to be responsible. Know your role and play it well. I know the role in families actually differ, so I'm not going to even talk about that, but it should be something that you have come to agree with. Because in some family, you might have a full housewife who does all the cleaning and cooking, and then the husband basically provides for the family. He's the main breadwinner. And in some family, the woman is a career woman, the man works, woman also provides in the family, and then they share some responsibilities. However, what I'm saying is we want our men to know their role, understand it, play it. We don't want to push, we don't want to be pushy all the time because it's to feel like we are on the edge. Also, we want our men to have forgiving spirit. We want you to have empathy towards us and how we feel. And I also think that we want our men to be accountable. Accept you know your roles. Accountability is one thing that people do not talk about a lot. Accountability, people run away from it. Now, this is a typical example of being accountable. I know that I am supposed to place this water here every day. It is my job. It is my role. Then this morning, I forgot to place it and I was reminded, oh, okay, maybe tomorrow again, I forgot to place it again and I'm reminded. Now, accountability will be that I accept, oh yes, it is my job, my responsibility to put this water here. I accept that I failed at doing this. I lacked. I did not do it. And I will now reassure you, my wife, that, you know what, I'm sorry, but I will ensure that I keep doing it. So we want that reassurance that you are still standing on that responsibility and still accept it. But for some men, they run away from being accountable. They do not want to be held accountable at all. They don't even want to hear. They don't even know how to say sorry. They feel saying sorry makes you less of a man. No, it doesn't. It makes you a real man. So accept that you lacked, that you failed at that thing, and then reassure. Accountability is key. And sometimes some men actually hold women accountable. They hold their wives accountable, but their wives cannot do that. In fact, they will not even stay to have that conversation. And this is someone you married. Please, let's be accountable. It will rather make your friendship stronger. We should not have double standards. You cannot say, oh, you can do this, but me, I cannot do it. So let's be accountable. I think accountability is key. And it is what I would be ending my talk on today. We women want our men to represent us out there. We women, we love our men. We care about our men, and we just hope that they will be able to do some of these other things that we really love. Again, it is my honor to be here with the real people, the real men, the real boys, and I'll be ending it here. Thank you so, so much. I am happy to share.
Yeah, very much. Let us show us some love on the chat section. Let's say thank you on the chat section. Thank you very much.
Well, you didn't poo again? Poo now.
Oh. Oh, please, can you? Yeah, thank you. Let's say some beautiful things. Thank you, Ma. Really appreciate it. You've actually learned a lot. So, from I was able to pick some things. I was able to pick some things that what women want. That women want to be uh, to be trusted, to be loved, to be understood, because you have to understand them, even though like with the understanding that they are emotional beings, you have to understand them. And what the men actually want, what the women want from the men, I could see lots. The speaker actually mentioned a lot, but I will just list few. He laid much emphasis on communication, and he mentioned different types or different form. Let me put it that way. That you have difficult conversation where you talked about, okay, even this budget, is it what you are going through? Maybe some things you need to do, maybe, oh, we need to get an house project and stuff like that. So you need to talk about it, honesty, responsibility, and she finally ends with accountability, that you have to be accountable because it's based on, I'm sorry, like Africa, we believe that the man is probably okay, the head, so be you can't be accountable to anyone, because we just feel that okay, the wife is meant to be accountable to us, but they are actually telling us that we should be accountable to her as well. We should be accountable, so we should reciprocate that form of accountability. Okay, thank you very much, ma. We really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you very much. Okay, I will be going to introduce the second speaker for today, and okay, she's not a stranger, but okay, let's okay, I'll be introducing our second speaker. That's Margaret Adesewa Dansu. Is a dynamic professional with a solid academic foundation and diverse skill set. She holds a Bachelor of Technology in Industrial Mathematics from the Federal University of Technology, Nigeria, showcasing her early dedication to a field bridging mathematical principles and industrial applications. Moving on our education, Margaret earned a master's degree in management from Tokyo University in Japan, highlighting a global perspective and interest in economic and management. Currently pursuing a Doctor of Philosophy at the same university, she focused on social capital, social media, and non-profit organization, reflecting our commitment to understanding and contributing to societal dynamic. In addition to her academic achievements, Margaret is a successful brand strategist, having worked with startups like Bednut, Dr. KK, and Ray Boys Forum. Our ability to translate theoretical knowledge into practical, impactful strategy underscore our versatile skill set and position her as a valuable asset in both academic and professional sphere. Margaret Adesewa Dansu stands out as an individual who seamlessly integrates academic insight into real-world challenges of brand development and strategy, showcasing the intersection of theoretical understanding and practical application in impressive career journey. So we will let's welcome the next speaker. And in addition to that, the next speaker is the correct woman of the convener of this forum. So let's welcome her with some emoji on the chat box. Thank you. You can go on, ma. You're welcome, ma. Can you hear me?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's always morning with me. So I know we have diverse people from different places today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come here today. And thank you so much to my sister, Becca. Wow. I mean, you've said it all. I think safe to say that we can end this meeting right here because everybody has gotten one or two things from your speech that if they sit with it, they will definitely not miss it when it comes to their relationship with the women in their lives. So thank you for that wonderful delivery. Okay, so I guess I'll just be saying everything she has said in my own words. Permit me to say that because as she was reeling everything out, I was like, okay, she she has my list. So, and then of course, um, Emmanuel said that it's like a formula, is a framework. Personally, I like structure. I like working with a formula. All right. So of course, I guess that comes with being a strategist, right? So I believe that everything, if you are a correct babe or you're a correct sister, a correct girl, whatever it is, and you meet another correct girl, something will click and you both will connect. So I guess that explains the reason why we have similar content. So I'll start with, yeah, thank you so much for laying the foundation, explaining that I mean, women, when you look at the topic, it might come to people that, okay, they're going to be talking about relationship with wives or marital relationship, but it's beyond that because as I am personally, okay, so I'm a girl. I'm first a girl. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. Um, what else? I'm a wife. I'm a mother. So I'm a person of many parts, and I have relationship with different people. And so I'll start with the fact that as a correct or as a real boy, permit me to use that phrase to describe everyone here. As a real boy, you need to learn to treat a lady right. Okay, there are basic things that I would expect from a man or from a real boy. So learn to treat a lady right. If you are not if you are not sure, read books, read good books, read correct Christian books on how to treat a lady or whatever it is. Ask questions from people that you look up to that are doing it right around you. Okay. So I guess I'll start with that. And the second point is don't lead any woman on. So, like I said earlier, that I'll just be reiterating everything she has said in my own words because yeah, these things are the same. Okay. Don't lead any woman. And let me give you an example. So, for instance, you have female friends around you and you are fond of relating to them and with endearments like, oh, how are you dear? You guys are not married, you are just friends, or maybe you're even classmates, and you are calling everybody, you are daring them, you are darling them. It is for you, it doesn't mean anything, but do you know what the person is thinking about? How you're calling them, the endearments with which you're calling them? You can't say. So better safe than sorry. It's better for you to, be upright in the way you relate to a lady than to think that, oh, well, I'm just It's just that's the way I call everybody. That's for you. And it's not for you to say how she feels about the way you call her. So don't lead any lady on. Don't take advantage of people by, rubbing their body and tapping currents, like we say. Don't tap unnecessary currents because she's your friend or because she's a classmate or because she's your seatmate. Okay? So state your intentions clearly and get her consent. Now, this is coming from personally. Let me share. I'm going to be sharing some, stories of when I share any of these points. If I recollect any story that goes with it, I'll share my personal story. So sometimes I remember when I was an undergrad in FUTA, some guys would come. I mean, let me just use this particular guy. He kept following me everywhere, and as far as he was concerned, I was already his. This is somebody that was just trying to, make connection with me. We were not even friends. He was just trying to connect with me and get to know me. Yet, he already has this possessive mentality in his mind. And he would make a boast and go around telling people that, oh, this one, she's mine already. And he was having that ownership mentality. This is somebody that I can't even say is my friend. Okay. So that's why I'm saying that state your intentions clearly and get the person's consent. Make sure you both are on the same page. You have made your intentions clear, and she has agreed to be on the same page with you before you go about informing your family. Now, I'm going to share this story. I remember when I was in secondary school, I must have been in my SS3 first semester. I started hearing rumors that, oh, somebody was interested in me. As at that time, now, keep in mind that I attended a Christian secondary school. So personally, I didn't even know that anything like that was going on. I just started noticing that, oh, there was a day I walked into the room and I met a group of ladies discussing, and what they were talking about is, oh, this person and that person, they were matching a male and a female. Oh, this person is with this person, that person is with that person. And for me, that was surprising to me because I had never paid attention to such in the school. Apparently, there was a particular guy in my class who was interested in me. But because he was hiding under the guise of being shy, he went to the guys in his hostel and he shared it with some of the guys. One of them, who unfortunately is late now, one of them took on the assignment to approach me and tell me of his friend's intention. So this guy came to me just after the day we were vacating, we were going home for holidays. So he came and was like, oh, I have these gifts for you he mentioned this guy's name. And I was like, oh, why? Why is he giving me a juice? Well, he brought a juice, package of juice. And I was like, why is he giving me a juice? We are going home. And he's like, he wants to speak with you. I'm like, why? Why is he sending you? You guys are classmates. We are all classmates. So why can't he approach me and talk to me? And he's like, if I can meet him by the boys' hostel entrance. So for me, I wasn't comfortable with the whole situation. But anyway, I just went with him that I'll just see him and go my way home. I went and saw him, and he had written a letter. He gave me the letter. In the letter was his phone number and stuff like that. His mother's phone number, because we were secondary school students, and this was in 2002. So as at that time, he didn't have a mobile phone. I also didn't have a mobile phone. So he gave me this letter that he has written his intentions and all that. So I got the letter. I didn't read it immediately. I went my way. And then while we were home, I eventually read the letter and I sent a text message to him via my father's phone. And then he responded that, oh, he has spoken to his mom about me. And he called and he started saying stuff. This was somebody like he was the only one who knew his intention about me. I didn't know anything. We hadn't have any conversation whatsoever. Yet he had gone to inform his mom, told his sister, told everybody that mattered in his life. So for me, as a lady, I was feeling pressured that what's all this? Like I had to be a certain way and this was not like well, I wasn't really interested in such. But anyway, I succumbed to the pressure. She said, "Wahala." So I succumbed to the pressure. And this is to share, to tell you that sometimes for you, you think, oh, it's because you're shy. So you're involving a third party in something that you're not even sure how the lady is going to feel about. I'm sharing this story because I know that sometimes we act based on our own, the way we see it from our own perspective, without considering the other person involved. Okay. So that's why I said, state your intentions clearly. Get the consent of the person, of the sister that you are involved with, or you are trying to get involved with, right? Get the person's consent, and make sure you are both on the same page before you go tell other people, before you go inform or inform your family, call a family meeting and stuff like that. Okay, so, and stop. Even if you're shy, what's the worst that could happen when you talk to a lady? She says no. Is that the end of the world? No, I understand that it can be painful because it's not easy for a guy to put himself out there, right? And to make their intentions known. I understand that. But when somebody says no to you, it doesn't mean they rejected you. They only rejected your offer. Okay? They have not rejected you as a person. All right? So the third point I have here is, as a man, please, I beg of you, dress well and smell nice. Okay? And see, this point is not about the price tag of your dressing or your appearance or your the perfume that you put on. But see, I've interacted with so many guys to see that a lot of guys don't pay attention to their appearance. And then when you talk about, they'll be like, this is what I can afford. It's not about the affordability of your appearance. It's about the thought, that the effort you put into the way you appear. See, personally, I am somebody of factory, like my sense of smell is high. So there was a post I wanted to put up, but because of my busy schedule this week, I couldn't put it up. I'm going to put it up next week. About my husband's, the perfume, like this perfume I just discovered for him. Oh my goodness. When he leaves the room in the morning, like for the next 30 minutes, the fragrance is just everywhere. Now, it's not about the price tag of the perfume or anything. I'm just telling you that if you are meeting correct babes like me, one of the things they would be intentional about is the way you smell. Okay? So try as much as possible to put thought, make an effort to look good. Even if you have a pair of trousers and 3 shirts, make sure that they are constantly, the table is shaking, Abi. I am going to shatter this table today. This is my mission today, to shatter the table. Now, both relationship and courtship, personally, I believe that if you are not ready to marry somebody, don't approach them for relationship, okay? I am already answering this question now. You are not ready. What you are not going to eat, please don't bring it close to your nose. I am a Yoruba girl, okay? When you are sure that this person I cannot cope with, I can't start at God early in the morning. Please don't even approach her to say, let me see, let us try and see. Don't try it, oh. Just make sure that as you are approaching this lady, you are ready to take her to the altar. Otherwise, wait until you are sure. Because I don't see the difference between relationship and courtship. The moment you say to a lady, babe, alpha, may I see your hand? Know that you're ready to take her to the altar. All right? Be sure that you have that conviction within your heart that somebody, the Holy Spirit is leading you. Because I believe that as a real boy, you should be led by the Spirit of God. Okay? All right. So the point I'm trying to say is that make sure you look good, be presentable, no rumpled clothes, no oversized, one shirt that 3 people can fit into. Please go and throw that away. Look good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be expensive, okay? And smell nice too. Thank you. All right. Let me move on to the next one. Okay, so the next point is own up to your flaws. Okay, now I have related with a lot of guys to see that I guess we hide this under the umbrella of African men, right? African man. When you are wrong, when you are in the wrong and you have realized it, please take responsibility, apologize. It won't hurt you, right? When you have realized your error, take responsibility, own up. Okay, that sincerity is one of the things that is going to endear that correct sister to you, because they know that once he recognizes his fault, he's going to come and apologize, right? A lot of men don't apologize to their, see, I'm sorry, I'm going to, personally, I am objective. So I'm not that emotional. I can be emotional too, but when it comes to issues, I like to call a spade a spade. Personally, my dad is guilty of this. He has never owned up to his errors to his wife. Sometimes he owns up to me. He owns up to his error to me and his children. But when it comes to his romantic relationship with his wife, it's not the kind of, I mean, maybe it's the generational thing. I'm not sure. But the thing is, please, when you notice something in the um, preceding generation that is not working for them, don't hold tight to it in the name of culture or in the name of whatever it is that we do in the African setting, right? Okay, so own up, be sincere, and when you apologize, don't don't go back repeating that thing that you've already, when you have apologized, be let your action show that you are truly sorry, because you won't repeat that thing again. But the moment you keep repeating the same offense, it shows that you are not sorry. So for you to show that you are truly sorry, you have to work on changing, improving. Okay, so be sincere, respect the women in your life, okay? Whether they are your mothers or your sister, your younger sister, or your aunties, or whoever it is, respect them, because they are human, and every human being is deserving of respect. It doesn't matter what you think about them. They are that respect, please give it to them, okay? The next point is, personally, I know that most guys, they are solution oriented, meaning that when a lady comes to you, maybe your sister approaches you and she's sharing, oh, this is what happened to me today at work. Your mind is already going to solution mode, right? You are going to solution mode. You are trying to fix all the things that she has said, everything she experienced today. You want to fix everything. Sometimes we don't want you to go to solution mode. We just want you to listen. Okay, when after she has expressed herself, ask her, so is it okay if I just, first, of course, acknowledge that, okay, yeah, I know that must have been a traumatic experience for you, whatever it was. Acknowledge the thing, the experience, and then ask, so would you want me to do, what do you want from me? I mean, just ask. Okay, ask what she wants. If she wants you to give solution, fine, she will tell you. But if she just wants to express her mind and get somebody to listen, then she will tell you that, oh, it's okay, I'm not ready for solution now. Because sometimes when you start giving all those solutions and all those things, you worsen the situation. Okay, so just ask what is needed for each moment. All right, then the next point is, um with regards to marital relationship, if you're in a marital relationship, or yeah, this one is marital relationship. For married people, if you are having any issues and you think that, oh, maybe it's because we are apart. When we meet, we are going to, everything is going to be sorted out, because you think that sex is going to solve the situation. No, I can't have sex with you if I'm angry with you. It's not going to work. Okay. All right. So don't think that sex is going to fix all the problem. It's okay. When we meet, everything will be resolved. No, resolve all issues. Don't sweep them under the carpet of sex. It doesn't work that way. Maybe for guys, because of the testosterone and your wiring, it might be easy for you to think about. But for us, issues are issues. Right? We have to resolve them first before we go to any other matter you are bringing up. All right. And then talking is part of how we women process things in life. And so please, for Christ's sake, factor in time for talking into your schedule. When I am talking to you, please give me the attention I need. Now I am talking as a woman. I'm not saying this because when I say when I'm talking to you, I'm not saying this because I'm indirectly speaking to my husband or anything. No, I'm saying as a woman, right? When you have a woman in your life and she's like, baby, see what happened today? Just drop that phone, face her direction, and give her the attention she needs. She's ready to gist. Okay. So, but I understand that, guys. It's like the way you are focused on that thing on your phone or your computer is like, I have to finish this first. But she wants that time for tete-a-tete, like we say. Okay. So sometimes talk is how we process life. Maybe there's a trend, there's a news going on social media, and she just wants to, share the information with you, get your opinion, so that you guys will gist. When you gist, you get to bond, you get to share each other's perspective and opinion, and then maybe if somebody was holding on to an opinion or a perspective that is not that healthy, you get to correct things. Okay, give attention. Somebody says give attention so there will be tension. Thank you, sir. All right, so for the real boys here, please make time, just put it in your schedule that today I there will be time for conversation with my wife. Okay, and it doesn't have to be, I don't have to take permission to speak to you. Because you're not my lord. Of course, I know you're also Lord, but you're not my Lord, right? Then another thing is be empathic, be empathetic. Okay, I know that sometimes men cannot relate to some of the emotional expressions that women have, and it is understandable because of psychological differences and all that. But the fact that you cannot relate to the experience doesn't mean that you should discard it altogether. It doesn't mean that the experience is not valid. So try and put yourself in the shoes and just, even if like my husband used to do, there was a time that it took him a long time for him to actually, you know, get into that flow of really being empathetic. Well, at first you would always just it's okay, darling, it's okay, it's okay. You can tell that he's really making effort, he's he's really making effort to understand it, to understand what you are going through. But the more he practiced, the more it became part of him. Now he does it, like it flows naturally, but it took him a long time because he had to practice. So even when you can't relate to the emotional outbursts or to the emotional expressions, just put yourself in the shoes and just say, okay, I can see, I'm trying to understand. Just be empathetic, okay? It goes a long way to strengthen the bond. All right. And then this point, I have to just say it. All women are not the same. Even though we share similar psychological traits, all women are not the same. Some women like the show, put them on the stage and shine a spotlight on them and put them up there, let the whole world see all the proposal, all these things you do. But that's not for all women. Understand the women you are dealing with, know what she wants, and then treat her based on her preferences. Okay. So, personally, I am not the fan of all this show for like putting up a show. Even if you are going to do all this romantic stuff for me, make it intimate. If there's no way a guy will propose to me in a public setting, like it will be too much embarrassment for me. Even so, that's not the kind of person I am. Don't say that, oh, it should be you women, you like shows. No, we are similar, but we are not the same. Not all women want PDA, public display of affection. No, not all women want it. Some people want it, they thrive on it, but not all women. So understand the particular woman you are dealing with and relate to her based on her preferences. Okay, treat her how she wants to be treated, and when in doubt, it doesn't hurt to ask. Ask her, oh, so what would you want? How would you want to be treated this way? How would you want this? Like, ask all these questions. That is what your courtship period should be for, not for tantalizers, going to tantalizers and Mr. Biggs and What else do we have these days? Chicken Republic. That's as much as those things are good, it should be time for you to, find out more about the person you are in relationship with. Okay, know what they want, how they want to be treated, know all those things. Ask questions, get to know them. Then this point is common. Guys, you guys, it's easy for you to make jest of one another, even with, what do you call it, physical attributes. Oh, Rory, and something like that. It's easy, like it's common among guys. For women, it is sensitive. Like body shaming is a sensitive thing among women. So, and it's even it hurts the most when it's coming from somebody they trust, somebody they have relied on, right? So don't make jest of the woman in your life sensitivity. Don't make jest of their feelings or their experience. If they are telling you that, oh, stop it, you're embarrassing me. Don't think that they are saying it because it's fun to say. No. Don't make, when they are saying that maybe you already know that she has insecurities with her physical appearance. Now you are now using that one to make jest of her. No, don't do that. Okay. Then another, because I know it's easy for guys. So I know, I know, men. It's easy for you guys to tease. You tease each other like for fun. It's normal for you. But for ladies, some things are sensitive, and even if what outsiders are doing it, we can still bear it. But when you that we call our own, that you are close to me, my own, you're not making jest of me. No, it's it's not good. Okay. So another thing is women value safe spaces. So if a woman is telling you that, oh, I don't feel safe without your friend, or I'm not comfortable with that person, please pay attention. You might not share the same concern. You might not even understand it. But if a woman's intuition is at alert, is telling her that, be careful here, then please just pay attention. Don't say, you don't know Tokumbo. Tokumbo is my friend of several years. Yeah, Tokumbo might be your friend of several years, but you might not know some of the things that Tokumbo is doing in secret. And that could be hurting the woman in your life, or that could put her in danger. Okay. So when she's telling you that, I don't feel comfortable with this person, or I don't feel comfortable in this place, or things like that, please pay attention. Okay. And now this point is for those of us maybe in courtship, or we are getting ready to get married. If you end up not marrying your best friend, please make your wife your best friend. This point, Becky said it in her presentation, and she kept emphasizing it because it is key. At the end of the day, every time I am confronted with this question, who is your best friend? I think I end up coming back to the same answer. For some people, they might say, oh, it's easier for you because you guys were classmates. Even if we were not classmates, we'll still have worked on it to make sure that we end up becoming each other's best friends. So if you end up not marrying your best friend, make your wife your best friend. And this is key because at the end of the day, the person that will spend the most intimate time with you, that will be there through thick and thin, is your wife. If you don't make her your best friend, if you don't invest in that relationship, all those other friends, all those other external relationships, they will go. But then, if you have hurt the relationship with your wife, you will suffer for it. So this one is key. Be responsible as a man. Don't say that, oh, she's capable, she's earning money, she's doing this. Show that you are capable of, taking care of things. Because personally, I will speak for correct girls, and I'm sure Becky will bear me witness. Women want a man, they want to marry somebody who can lead them. Yes, there are cerebral ladies, there are people that are high flyers and stuff like that. At the end of the day, they still want the man that can lead them. So if you think that, this my wife, if you like say her level is higher than mine, go work on yourself. Get to that point where she can trust in your leadership, because it is key. That's why they will say, oh, women, when they have money now, when they get to a position of authority, they don't submit. It's not that they don't submit. The men themselves, why is it that Ibuku Awoshika's husband, is not threatened by her success? Why is it that this woman, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the husband is not threatened by their success, right? It's because they are able to develop themselves to the extent that the women in their lives, they trust their leadership. They've worked on their skills. So if you are sensing that, it seems like I'm not up to par with my wife or with my soon-to-be wife, develop yourself, work on yourself, polish yourself, okay? So that she'll have confidence to trust in your leadership and let you lead her. Because even though we are high flyers, we are cerebral and all that, we still want a man that, we can rub minds and ask for their opinion when we are making some, sensitive and important decisions. So we want a man who is capable of leading us. I think that will be the summary of, if you forget anything at all in this presentation, don't forget the fact that a correct woman, a correct girl, a correct babe wants a man who is capable of leading her. And the subset of that will be, whatever you do, if you end up not marrying your best friend, work on making your wife your best friend. Spend time with her, do everything you need to do to make sure that she gets to that position of being your best friend. I guess I'll rest my case here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma. We really appreciate all the advice and tips and all the table that have been shaked and everything. Really appreciate that as well. Thank you for dropping the thank you for dropping emoji on the chat platform. Thank you. So if you forget anything, don't forget that if you end up not marrying your best friend, ensure you make your wife your best friend. Yeah, that is it. It's very deep and very heavy. Deep and heavy. Deep and heavy. So deep and heavy. Thank you. Really appreciate. So we have some questions. So and maybe I don't know. I'm going to put it to the first speaker. No, I'm going to put it generally. So maybe the first speaker can just speak. And if the second speaker has anything to add, maybe addition, you help us to add that to it. So, and we'll be a bit very fast with the question because we have a lot of questions and I can see some people raising their hands already. So, okay. So I'm going to be starting with the first question here. Okay, how do you relate? How do you react to your partner bad attitude? Like, how do you react to your partner's bad attitude? Maybe you have a partner that has maybe one bad attitude. How do you react to it? So, the first speaker. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so when we say bad, something that is unacceptable, right? And it is relative. So maybe what you think is bad is not what the person thinks is bad until you both come, and talk about it. Anyways, the first step in reacting to your partner's attitude is to watch out for the consistency. I think it's the very first step. So what typical example of a bad attitude can I say? Okay, let me just, these are the example, please. So let's say your partner presses the toothpaste from the center instead of from the bottom. This is an example. So you saw it once. Now you need to check for consistency. Let's see, will my partner do it tomorrow again? Will my partner do it next? So for consistency first. Then the next step is to discuss it, talk about it, communicate. So tell them, this is what you've done. This is how many times you've done it, or, just few occasions where you've done it. This is how it makes me feel. So you have to connect it. So when you discuss, tell them categorically, this is it, describe it, remind them of how it happened and where. Then you relate it to how it affects you. Because they obviously love you and they want you to be fine. So you have to communicate, oh, it affects me this way and I do not like it. So, like I said, identify it first. Be sure that it is happening. Why you have to watch for the consistency is that you don't want to do mistake. You want to be sure it is actually happening. Then you discuss about it and then tell them how you feel and how that you do not want this, to happen again. So when they do it again, that is where accountability comes in. You have to hold them accountable. I told you about this thing and we said we will not do it. So you hold them accountable. Please, this should not repeat itself. For people you love, you take out time to always, sometimes it can be annoying. I've told you this thing now. I've told you, don't do it again now. It can be annoying, I understand. But with love and perseverance, you can keep, following them. No, don't do this again. And just keep reminding them. And I hope this answers your question.
Okay, thank you. The second speaker, Ma, I don't know if you have any addition or should I go to the second question?
Let me just add that when you notice that somebody, when you say, like she said, when you notice that something is happening, has been happening and is affecting you, try to say it when you are clear-headed, not in the heat of the reaction or whatever it is that is going on. Because if you let emotions, like when you're trying to express that, oh, this thing you're doing is hurting me, is this and that, and you are doing it in the heat of the emotions, it worsens the situation. The person might not hear what you are trying to say because your emotion will overshadow the message you are trying to pass across. So try to do it when you are level-headed, when you know that, okay, emotions are, calm. That way, your message can get across easily and it won't be lost in the mix of emotions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That actually makes me remind, like, you buy here, like there are ways you say the same word, but like has different emotions. Yeah, thank you very much. So, my second question. So, the second speaker will answer first. Then, if the first speaker has anything to say, she will add. Okay. What do you do about an unforgiving partner? Do you get?
Unforgiving partner among correct real boys and correct babe. that was a kind of statement that Paul said, Kamari,
it?
make we not hear that kind of thing. Let it not be said among you that there is unforgiveness. Because what is it that we say in the Lord's Prayer? You remember? You remember the part we say that forgive us as we forgive those who sin against us, right? So if somebody is displaying, I think first, like I said, it shouldn't be an issue among Christians. But if it happens, then it shows that the person still needs to yield to the leading of the Spirit. Because if Christ forgives you, why should you hold grudge or hold something against the other person? You are hurting yourself when you refuse to forgive. Because I think I remember reading this somewhere, but I can't remember who exactly wrote it. But it says that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So let Becky take it from there.
Okay, thank you very much, ma. Second speaker, ma.
All right. Having an unforgiving partner. Mama, you've said it all. The very first. We shouldn't even have this issue. We shouldn't be talking about this. However, if this, comes up, we'll have to return to the drawing table. You see, I always tell people that if you ever hear anything about my marriage to marry, that maybe something is happening, we're breaking up. Just see, don't find out though. Just know it's my husband. And I mean, I'm talking from my perspective because, and I'm saying this because I feel I want to forgive you for not even forgiving me. You get, like, I forgive you in advance. I don't want to know the issue. I want to forgive you. Even when you hurt me and you don't want to forgive me about it, and I feel like, but you should forgive me. In fact, I want to forgive you for even doing that. And that is the kind of attitude we all should have. So if you have an unforgiving partner, as a Christian, I think the first thing you want to do is to pray for them, because it shouldn't be here. You pray for them. After praying for them, you now take practical steps. And the practical step is to go back to the drawing table. Go back to the drawing table and make them see. You know, Mama said something before about, not talking in the heat of the moment. So it's not when the emotions are high. No, it's not when the emotions are high. So take time, just take your time. Both of you cannot be, upside there at the same time. So when you have an unforgiving partner, you be the forgiving partner. When you have an unforgiving partner, you be the forgiving partner, because both of you cannot be at the wrong ends at the same time. Darkness cannot send out darkness. So if one person is wrong, you have to be right. So you go back to the drawing table and encourage yourself. Let the person realize that, you know what, this is not done. I am hurting. I do not feel comfortable. I'm not happy that you're doing this, but I forgive you. But we have to solve this thing together. What is the issue? Why? Because you need to understand why it is hard for the person to forgive you. There must be a problem. There must be an issue. So you go back to the table, you address the issues of double standards here and there. You address the issue of what is causing the partner not to forgive you. And from there, I am hoping that you'll be able to find like mutual grounds, and then you'll be able to restore your respect, because you won't stop. That is the thing. You won't stop. Sometimes, you get into marriage and then you discover there are just lots of things. There are some things that are just theory, honestly. No matter how you want to teach marriage, you learn experientially. You have to learn by experience. You'll be so pissed. You'll be so angry. You'll be so mad at your partner. But you just tell yourself, like, I have made a pledge for myself that no matter what my husband does, I will forgive him. Even if it is for not forgiving me, I will still forgive him. So I think we can work around that.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mom. Thank you. Okay. So, can you mute yourself, Bankole? Can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Bankole, yeah.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity, ma. You have really shaken the table this evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. My question is this, ma. This is I have a lot of female friends, and we really talk, and sometimes they will just call and we're trying to discuss. As a man, I love to make the conversation like they should we should enjoy the conversation, like talking, and so that the conversation will flow. But sometimes I will try to ask questions and it will feel like you are disturbing me, because I don't know how can I make a conversation flow without asking you a question and you reply and you understand. So I want to know, in that aspect, how can someone relate with them in that aspect? And also, if you are saying sorry to a lady, maybe, and you know they are wrong, and you know in your heart that she is wrong, and you are saying sorry, is that not a weakness in a man? That's my question. Thank you. Hello.
Okay,
Okay, I think that the question is for me, right?
you can go. Yeah,
Hello.
you can go ahead.
Okay. So I'll start with the second question. When you say sorry to someone, it doesn't make you the weaker person. It doesn't make you, it's not doesn't make you less of a real man. And this is it, right? It's just in fewer cases that the people you are saying sorry to do not know that you were actually right. It's in fewer cases. Most times, the women, they know. We know. We'll just be putting a giddy, we'll just be putting everything together because we don't want to accept it. We like to be mushy and just do things and just, then we want you to say the sorry. That's the sorry. Not saying, hey, you said sorry. So we know it's just in few cases where people, and that one is a problem anyways, because it's that they don't understand the situation, they don't understand themselves. So for you saying sorry, you're probably acting as the bigger person. You are acting as the peacemaker that you are. That you say sorry doesn't mean you are guilty of the offense. You just want peace to reign. So please, brother, if you're someone who says sorry, even when you are not wrong, don't think you're less of a man. Don't think, this does not make sense. No, I think you're doing the Lord's work, really. What you can now do is, though maybe you now have to handle the situation better, so you don't put yourself in that kind of situation again with that kind of person. Because if you're with somebody who will not be accountable, if you're with a woman who will not be accountable, that time they want you to be saying sorry, then that is not okay. That is not okay at all. You cannot be with somebody who is not accountable. So as much as I'm advocating, men be accountable, we women, we should be accountable too. So when I'm with you, I want to accept that I am wrong too and tell you sorry. And of course, there are sometimes I just want to be mushy and I still want you to say sorry even though I'm the one that is wrong. But that should be 1 in 100 situations. When it's already a 10 over 10 times in 10 situations, then that is a problem. I think you should remove your shoes, clean them like this and run. Yeah, then back to the other question about conversations. You see, the problem is a lot of people don't know how to hold conversations. And I mean, I can say this categorically for women and even for men. A lot of people don't know how to, hold conversations. So the only thing they say is, how are you? Say, fine. Have you eaten? Yeah. Have you had your bath? Yeah. Are you back? Have you? So the have you, are you, it's honestly, it's boring. It's boring. So maybe another way, to have conversations without literally asking these boring questions is to now build up something around your shared interests. So what can be a shared interest? I'll give you an example. I personally love to read. In fact, I have a book club. So if this person loves to read too, and I've read books, then we can start talking about the books we've read. Oh, last month I read The Atomic Habits by James Clear. In fact, there was one thing he said about habits. He said, there's this thing about habit stacking. Have you heard about the concept before? She says, no. Opportunity. You explain habit stacking. Habit stacking is that when you wake up in the morning, you do this routine, you move to the next. After praying, you have your exercise. After having an exercise, you drink water. Then you tell me the benefits of habit stacking. Even similarly, in the work of so person, or maybe Shima should chip in, it has to be something that you both share so that you both have something to say. If you start talking about shared interests, it could be politics. It could be I don't know, digital marketing. It could be anything. By the time you start talking around your shared interests, you will never run out of content. I bet you will not run out of conversation. So just, it could be football. Talk about Messi. Talk about the, how one player is being sold to the other one. How this club almost since 1990 they've not won. Find something that you both share, and then you write your conversation in it. With that, you will not run out of steam. I assure you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, any addition? Yeah, any addition, Ma? You can, or should I?
So thank you so much for that. I'll just answer the question in the chat. Is similar to the first question Becky answered, which is the same response I'm going to give. Handling a situation where I'm consistently the one apologizing in a relationship, despite not being at fault, can be challenging. Any advice on how to manage this dynamic? If you are consistently being the one apologizing, please pick race. Please. Because as much as we want to be pampered as women, we also know that when we are wrong, we know that we are wrong, even though we might not readily admit, but we know. And when the more matured one apologizes first, then we take a cue and we also apologize. But if you are the one always apologizing and the other person never sees anything wrong in what they are doing, please run for your life. before you enter prison. I don't talk my own. No.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you, ma. So, Ron. Okay, I'm going to the next question. It says, is cohabiting advisable for a healthy relationship? Is cohabiting advisable for a healthy relationship? Dr. Alexis.
So, okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Oh,
please.
okay. Okay. You see, but even children of the world, they know that cohabiting is, in the words of somebody I know, gen jealous. Oh, gen jealous. See, cohabiting is not advisable. Because let's look at it. What is cohabiting? Cohabiting is that a man and a woman that are not married, that the parents have not consented to their relationship, are living together. They're living together without parents' blessings, without God's blessings. They are living together, and most times they'll be performing both husband duties and wife duties, cohabiting. How does that even make sense? It is wrong in every sense of the word because you are disrespecting yourself. Unless maybe cohabiting has another meaning. But if it is the same cohabiting that we know in intimacy, in relationship, it is wrong. You're disrespecting yourself. Sometimes, I've heard a story of a woman who cohabited with a man, and then they went ahead to have 3 children. 3 children, no marriage, no parents' blessing, no altar working to, nothing. Just there cohabiting, having children. Then at the end of the day, the man broke that commitment and ran away. So left her with the children, and then she starts crying. She became a single mother. See, it leads to a lot of things you don't want. As a Christian, someone who is kingdom-minded, you don't want to do that. Because all the things you ever don't want to do, the gamut of all of these things, it will meet you in that place. Is it premarital sex? It will happen there. Premarital, it will happen there. Everything you are running from, everything will happen there. So please, in fact, if there is somebody who is even trying to communicate that, you should know that is a big red flag. So please, it is not, in fact, it's not a personal opinion now. It's not a personal opinion. It is kingdom principle that it is wrong. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Addition, ma.
So the addition is, I'm going to come from the psychological angle. So she has given you the spiritual, of course, everything. It doesn't matter which angle you go, okay? So when you cohabit, what you're doing is, you know that this thing is wrong, right? Because there is no legal basis for you coming together to live. Let's say you want to come together to live because you want to save cost. Please get a legal reason to do that. Just get married already. Get married, have a legal basis to do that. Because when you cohabit, what you're doing is you are, what's the word now? Violating your conscience. And that's what that does to you is that it shakes the foundation of that relationship, because both of you cannot trust each other. You are violating your conscience, and when your conscience is violated, it doesn't matter, you become suspicious. It doesn't matter what the person does. So at the end of the day, you have this guilt. You bear the guilt on your conscience, because you know you're willfully doing something against yourself. You are willfully hurting yourself. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you say you don't want to. God's laws are too strict. It's too, everything is, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, come to biology, come to psychology, come to all the. It doesn't matter how the order you go. Okay, it is still no. So if you know that you want to find out, maybe the excuses some people give is funny. They say, "Oh, how would I know the kind of person he is if I don't live with them before we marry?" What's that? Whatever you cannot know without living together, then maybe you shouldn't even be together. Okay, so I guess that's just my yes. So they
Okay.
said, okay, we had a married man who cohabited with a single woman cause of cost sharing. It messed up his marriage because it got her into his bed. Why would you even cohabit with a single woman? With a woman, any woman? Please don't do that. It's going to lead to all sort of things that you are not even ready for. And then you transfer the guilt to the next generation, and then they have to fight and struggle to break whatever jinx that you have caused upon them. Please, if anybody is thinking about that here, please have a rethink, repent, and come to God. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma. Okay. Please, you can drop your question on the chat box. Just drop your question if you have any question, and if you feel like asking, so just you can indicate by raising up your hands using the reaction tool. Okay, so I'll be going to the next question. Okay, next question says, I would love to know when one can propose to a lady. Do you get the question? I would love to know when one can propose to a lady. Hello, I hope I'm not on my own.
So I think when I spoke in my presentation, I had hinted on that. But then if you still want me to repeat it, if you have other questions, maybe I don't know, but if you want me to repeat it, but I knew I spoke about that when I was talking.
Yeah, you can be brief about just maybe a recap.
Just okay. Okay, no problem. So I had mentioned that, we have like two different kind of proposals. Some is just the conversation of, oh, I want you to be my wife, and you both talk about it. And then there is this ceremonial kind of proposal. And I mentioned that for you to propose, when you propose is when you're sure that this is the woman. This is the woman I want. This is the woman. When you've heard from all your senses and you've heard from God that this is the person I want to be with. And there are a certain checklist. This person is a child of God. This person has these values. There are checklists that you have to look at. So when you are ready, when you are comfortable, when you know that you're ready to fund your lifestyle by the time you are married, that is when you go into it. And what do you need to fund your lifestyle? You have the money, you have the mental stability, you have the emotional stability, you have the physical structure, a house that can take you both, for shelter. So you look at all of these things. That is when, you say, okay, you know what, I think I'm man enough now, and I want to house a woman. Another thing I had mentioned then is that the purpose of dating itself. So which is why sometimes when you ask questions about proposing, it's a bit confusing, because the purpose of dating, the purpose of being together with a woman is actually to marry. Or is there any other reason you date somebody? You just date them to get to know them. I mean, on friendship level, you could get to know somebody if it is that. But we date, we court, so we could end up with a person. So the actual proposal now is the tricky part of the question, because when we are together, we keep talking about our future. We want to talk about what our marriage will look like, how we'll give birth, to children, how many children we want to have, and she has to be on the same page with you. She has to be on the same page with you. So it's not only you doing the thinking as a man, it's not just you, it's not all up in your head. Be sure that all of the things in your head, bring it to bear. Discuss it, speak with her. Don't be in your bubble. Don't create a bubble where you're living in it alone. Don't think, oh, I love this woman, I love just how she's so impactful and blah, blah, blah. You've not told her that you actually want her, to be the mother of your children. Then you just be imagining all of these things. Then one day when when they do those ceremonial proposal, and then you kneel down and then you say, marry me, and she looks at you, be like, what is going on? So, sometimes it's confusing when people kneel down to propose and the person says no. So what are you going to be doing? So you've never had a discussion that you're going to get married. You just kneel down and say, marry me, and the person says no. So I feel like the proposal is not, for me, okay, so I think I can use the word personal opinion here. For me, the proposal is not a thing. Proposal is not a thing. You see a woman you like. When you see a woman you like, it's not what you think as a kingdom person is not, I want to get her to my bed. Is I want to marry her. I want to have companionship with her. So I go to her, I ask her out, whichever way you want to do it, and then she's now my fiance. At that point, we are both talking about our marriage, our plans, and everything. So personally, I don't think about proposals. I don't know that. I hope I have not ended up confusing you. I hope you get it. Exactly what I mean.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ma. Because of our time, I will just ask the last question so that we can draw the curtain. Okay. The last question is can a man please a woman? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you.
So, you cannot, as a correct babe where I be, even me, I know, say, I know if you please every woman, every man out there. So as a real boy, as a real man, there is no way you can please every woman out there, but you can please your own woman. So that is why I said, have discussion, just like Becky just finished saying. The period of courtship is for you to get to know each other, not physical exploration, no, but get to know what makes this person, what are the values this person holds there, what are their non-negotiables, what are the images, the picture of a home that they have. So in knowing those things, you know how to please that woman. And that is exactly what marriage is for. Marriage, like they say, bridegroom, right? And bride. So the bride will groom the groom to our own taste. And then the groom will groom the bride to his own taste. I hope that point is clear. So it is you pleasing each other, not you trying to please all women. So first, find out who is that particular woman for you. Then get to know this person. And you get to know them by discussing, by asking questions. If you don't know how to start by asking questions. Ask questions. And just to add to the response that Becky gave about how to know when to propose, I remember what we did. Let me just give you this practical story. Maybe this might help somebody. So already when we came together and when he proposed, I was like, it didn't fit. It wasn't the kind of person. And then he came back, was like, okay, so what's the kind of person you want? And then I brought my list and we checked the list. Well, we agreed on a pass mark. I wrote the list in my secondary school. And then we agreed on a pass mark. And then I guess the pass mark was 80 or 80. And then he scored way past that. And I was like, okay, now you see yourself. Why did you say I didn't qualify? And I was like, well, I didn't mean that. You know, those sometimes you just say some words that because you wanted the guy to just get off your neck, right? So eventually we were like, okay, now we are serious. Let's talk business. So we agreed that okay, for how long we are going to be together before we go ahead with whatever, all the things we are going to do. So we had timeline. So there were timelines for everything we are going to do. What stopped our timelines from coming to fruition was my parents, delay in giving their consent. And their reason, my father said it on our wedding day, that he was afraid. He was afraid because he has had, experiences around him. He lost two of his younger sisters because they got married they got pregnant out of wedlock and then had to marry those people who impregnated them. And it turned out that those guys were not real boys. They were not real guys. So eventually they lost their lives because, the stigma around all these issues with marriage and stuff like that. So my dad was now transferring that experience to me. He was afraid that, he doesn't want to lose me again. So he was holding on to different things, holding on to straws. Oh, you should marry somebody from your tribe. You should marry somebody from Anglican church. You should marry this and that. And eventually, God doused all those things and gave him the peace he needed. And then he gave his consent. It took us 5 years, but then we waited on God. And that was the only thing that stopped that timeline. But we had a plan that by so and so, once this is done, we are getting married. And then, so once the moment you are saying yes, as at the time we said, okay, we are starting this relationship, we already came up with a timeline of what we are supposed to be doing. Somebody is saying, you probably be small matter for matter, yes. So, so the point is, don't get into a relationship without knowing when you are getting into marriage. Have a timeline. That was the point Becky had in mind when she said, don't make women your fiancé Lord of Rings or Lord of the Ring, whatever it is, because you see guys, proposing to a lady, give her ring, and then they just keep living their life as though that is. Yeah, when there's cohabitation, that's usually the norm. They just keep living their life like that. So as at the time we are saying, you are coming together to say, I want to propose to this lady, already come together, like she said, agree. So what are your expectations? What do you need to be in place before we can come together and start building our lives together as husband and wife? And let me just say this now. Not all women want societal wedding, all those their 70 billion budget wedding. No, not all women want that. Ask her the kind of wedding she wants. Some women, if you know Maraji, this lady that does kids, she got married to a Ghanaian and she lives in Ghana with her husband now. She said it that since she was a child, a girl, she never pictured herself in white dress getting married. She knew she was going to get married, but she's not the kind of person that wants societal wedding or ceremonial wedding. She did a parlor wedding. And right under that comment, the comment section of that video, so a lot of women also commented that personally they also did a parlor wedding because that was their dream. That was what they wanted. So ask this woman in your life what kind of wedding she wants. Don't think that you have to have all the money before you marry her. No, ask questions. Ask questions, please, especially from this woman that's in your life. Okay, and then treat her according to her preference. By the time you are coming together to say, okay, let's start courting or dating, have a plan, have the timelines already, okay? And then, by God's grace, commit everything to God's hand. What we did during our courtship, we had a time of prayer every day, fasting and prayer every week, rather. Fasting and prayer every week. We had books that were read. Both of us love reading. So we knew that was going to be a common thing, a regular thing in our relationship. So we had books every week. We read, we come together and review. And so we never ran out of things to discuss. So it doesn't have to be a book for you. It could be something else. It could be maybe celebrity gossip. God forbid, if that is what you want, go ahead and discuss your celebrity gossip. But at least make it something that both of you are passionate about, both of you are interested in. So that's my contribution. I'll let Becky do the rounding off. I think that will be the end of the session. Thank you.
Okay, Mama, you've set the pace already. I think the last question was about, can you please a woman? And that is true. See, that is the absolute fact. You cannot please, normally you cannot please human, yeah? You cannot please people. No matter what you do, there will be laughs and there will be issues. But thankfully, the person we are talking about is not every other woman. It's not every other person out there. It's your person. Guess what? Who is going to score you? Who is going to say, oh, yes, I've been pleased? It's your woman. It's not an external examiner. It's not an independent monitor that wants to come and check it. It's the person that you're with that is going to say, oh, I've been pleased. They may not say directly, in sentence wise to say, I am pleased, but you will see it in their character, in the way they behave and everything. And how can you please, just to say, is by knowing what they want. Like this whole thing that we are saying, this whole session we've had today about knowing what women want. And there is something Mama said that stood out, is that every woman is unique. Every woman is unique. So you need to understand your own woman. Understand your girlfriend. Understand your wife. Understand your own woman. Understand the women in your life, your sisters, your daughters. Understand them. By the time you understand them, you will know what they want, and then you will be able to do those things that they want, and eventually they will be pleased. I think that will be it from me. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really, really excited about this.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll hand over to Dr.
Yeah, I think we need to call Becky back one of these days to come and teach us how to theaterize and dramatize. Like you could see, I mean, it's so which English? I think somebody should borrow me a word. It's just so cool. I mean, thank you so much. And I mean, you can all agree with me that the people we have brought today, they are really correct women. And one thing that is common to them is they are blunt. Real people they go straight to the point. They know what they want, so you are not coming to waste their time. I think I heard about one correct woman like that, and she was maybe somebody came to propose, went to propose to her, and she was like, "What exactly do you want? Is it play? Do you want to play, or you are really serious?" That's a correct man for you. So you can't if you don't know what you want, you will not feel comfortable, and that's why some men, right, cannot actually stand such women. So you need to know your onions so that it will not pepper your eyes with around correct men. So can you just give something like a round of applause, anyhow you want to do it in the chat box or wherever. I just appreciate this excellent. We are very grateful to have you on board. We wish we can really pay you, but we know one day soon, whether it's virtual or not, we want to pay you billions of pounds for that matter, because this is serious. You're saving lives, and we are very grateful that you can partner with us in this journey. We thank our moderator, DG, with all your nervousness. You did a great job. I mean, probably this is one of the first times of doing this kind of thing, but I know you keep getting better. I like your innovation about letting the question pass around, and that's really cool. So you want to keep that up, and you are going on the world stage, so get ready for that. And you don't need to be real men are not shy. You are humble, but you are not. You cannot. You are micro, but you are not soft because you have the power of God in you. Thank you once more, Becky. Thank you, Margaret. God bless you for this. I don't know if there's any guy here who is not already in the RBF group. If you are here like that, does somebody have the link? Can you quickly share the link in the chat? So if you like to join us, feel very free. This is how we have conversations around all kinds of issues, and people, and as you can hear, a lot of it's a principle as simple as breaking huge things down. Somebody has used that to write a paper. He has used that to do a lot of things. So sometimes we just take these things like, oh, if I even me, sometimes I would just write and be like, is this going to have any impact? Remember what I wrote on to PhD or not PhD? Somebody came and one of my guys actually is already in the US, studying for a PhD degree. And when he read the article, he finished with the first class for that matter. He came back and he was like, seriously, that thing, when he read that thing, he felt that he needed to speak with me, that he wasn't actually enjoying his experience, uh, studying for a PhD. So now it's considering applying to another school, just to apply for master's degree. So I mean, so when I hear things like that, I know that wow, so somebody somewhere is actually reading this thing and it's actually changing lives. So I mean, this is we know we are doing a great job, and we pray that we will not get tired. And can you just say a word of prayer for these powerful women in the box, that they will keep increasing? I mean, there's no ceiling for you. We are not going to stop you. We have got out of your way. Just keep moving. We are behind you. We are supporting you. We are moving together. We will not. Nobody will be left behind. That is exactly what our call is. I mean, I feel like it's like I've been gingered to talk like Becky, like when to raise the pitch, when to bring it down, when to moderate it. I mean, it's also sweet. Thank you so much. And then Margaret's bluntness, like if you don't want to hear truth, now you sabi. And that's how we do it. I mean, if you ask people like John Bull is there, we've lived together. If you people that come to live with me, the first time they come, they are shocked, like, is this the same guy? That nice guy in church, that nice guy in school. Because when you come into my space, we have to recalibrate you. So you go hear things and you be like, really? Now this person. Then after like 6 months, you now understand. Then we'll now be rolling normal. And the tension will go down. And that's how it is in relationship. You have two people coming together from different extremes. And then over time, you have to chisel yourself. My wife and I, we had World War III in 200 level. And it was after that war that I now began to know that, oh, it's like, this is my wife. And, that's how it's going to be. So if you're afraid of fighting, you're not ready for marriage. And it's not like fighting, scatter ground or something. Like facing facts, facing issues, not glossing over things. Then, I like to quickly say something about cohabitation. People want to cohabit because they want to see if they are sexually compatible. or they want to know the person's character, no matter how hard you try. If you cohabit before marriage, there's no how it will help you in marriage. There's no way. In fact, research, Shebi, you like research, Abi? Let's even forget Bible or anything now. Research has proven that people who are sexually inexperienced last longer in marriage than people who are, okay, fine. You are cohabiting and you're already having sex. When you marry, what do you want to have again? And that's why when they see you finish, they won't want to marry you. You just be wearing ring, and marriage is because the guy is already getting what he needs to get to marry. So why should he marry? I'm talking to guys here. I mean, and like my wife said, for the guy, right? You won't trust yourselves because imagine after my PhD, I was in Nigeria for 2 years and 2 months. My wife was here. I didn't have it. I didn't have to blink to blink that. Oh, I didn't have to worry about. Oh, what is she doing? She didn't have to worry about that because we already knew ourselves. We already knew we're committed to ourselves. We're no games, no dirty dealings and everything. So if we had cohabited and we had sex before marriage, there was that small distrust will still be there. I'm not starting another one. I'm just here to thank these beautiful, wonderful, great ladies. You're going places and nothing will stop you in Jesus' name. So on this note, I want to inform you, this is a monthly thing and, it's been such a great one. And the next one is going to be like an academic seminar. We have people in the Real Boys Forum. I mean, we have a lot of first-class guys who we can learn from about academics and everything. So our next one is going to be like an academic seminar. And the theme is Acing the Grades with Grace. And we have, this is not confirmed yet, but I mean, I think it should be an easy ride. We'll be having the excellent Daiwi Olude. He finished from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, Fine Arts. Real boys, we don't have, you don't have to be a medical doctor or anything. I mean, gone are those days. You can even be a TikToker or YouTuber. As far as they are doing things that impact lives, you don't care. So that will only finish the first class from Fine Arts in Ife. Adedamola Adedipe finished from FUTA, first class in, I think, information technology or something like that. So we'll be listening to them about, some academic stuff by Saturday, 13th April. We always have our virtual meetups second Saturday of every month. So make it a date with us, 13th April 2024. In case you have an issue with this video going on YouTube, please let me know because we have the plan to put it on YouTube. So if you don't want it to be on YouTube, maybe we have to think about I don't know if there's something we can do, but I hope nobody will have an issue with that because we also want to bless others too with all these things you're sharing. There are people you think people know, right? There are people out there, they don't know simple things like this, and it's causing a lot of trouble. Thank you. Before I fall into the trap of talking too much, like I usually do. Once again, Rebecca, Maulome, Padonu, we commit you unto God's care. You will not fail, you will not stumble, you will not falter. You will keep increasing. And Margaret, Adesewa, so God bless you so much. I love you now. Like make her not talk too much. All right. So thanks a lot, everybody. See you for the next virtual meetup. And for the boys, let's continue our gist in the forum. God bless you. And of course, Becky, maybe you want to start the Real Girls Forum, and then we can collaborate from time to time. And maybe we can even take it physical sometimes so that boys and girls will mix and better things can continue to happen. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Timileyin. I'm so grateful for you doing this. God bless you, everybody, for attending. Thank you. See you. God bless you.
Thank you.
If you have some, yeah, is there something addressed? Okay, feel free.
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So see you then.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.